So welcome to another Exploring Consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub. And today we're gonna, reflect a little bit on the year, what kind of year we had, and just really look forward to the run up to the solstice, to 21st of December. We also prepared a little, treatment to the self, to our future self, which we're gonna put together throughout the next 2 hours. And in the meantime, what does it take to be human during this time, during those accelerated times that we are going through? What does it mean to be human? Let's start off with that. Just a nice little question, right? What does it feel like? What does it mean? And where are we going with all of that?
It's messy and emotional to be human. Like how we receive things and process things, to do it through the physical body and the emotional body, it just can be messy.
And add the mental body too, and this is a whole fucking disaster. This whole human beingness, right? Sorry,
yeah, we don't experience the emotions in the higher realms like we do here. We really get entangled into sort of like the juiciness of things, which for me makes it interesting and makes it fun, right? A little more of a ride. And I've been working for the last 20 years on mastering the emotional reactivity and response, and coming back to that place of the sacred neutral. And but that doesn't mean things don't come up, right? Even when we're in that space. So for me, giving myself just like love and care and nurturing no matter what comes up, right? And still being in that space of loving and accepting myself completely. And that's a really, really hard place to be for a lot of people, especially around this time of the year when the light in the northern hemisphere is, we're in these dark days coming up to the solstice. I've talked to a lot of people over the past couple of weeks who are really being affected with seasonal depression. Yeah. So how, this is a question for each one of us. How do we lift ourselves up, right, during these dark days?
Yeah.
It's like you're opening the door for me, Tanya. Oh, go ahead, Lana.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll be quick. When you ask the question,
take your time.
What it's like to be human, the simplest thing that came to me is living here is just the definition of being human. All the experiences you get here is what defines human. So that's really my answer to that. Thanks. Go ahead, Alfredo.
Oh, no, you're good. I don't want you to rush, Lana, because I'm a rusher and I'm slowing it down, slowing the fuck down.
Slow down.
I'm giving you my time. You can take.
Oh, no. No.
What is your take on being human, Alfredo?
Oh, my take. I love being human. I'm not like, I want to be in the high dimensions all the time. I love being human. Let me actually give me 1 second. I'm over here sunbathing, so because I don't want to be depressed, especially in these winter times. But just give me one moment.
He's sunbathing. Turn your camera on.
It's it's amazing how
only if you're naked. Are you naked? Then
put your loincloth on.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be half naked in the Earth Nouveau here, okay? As much as some people may want to see that, I'm not trying to incite people's attention and attraction here. But yeah, as you know me, I'm always inspired as fuck, because I'll find, it doesn't matter if I go to deep, dark depths of hell, because that's when I find the light within me, you know? So I've been having a lot of low moments lately, especially after Andrew gave me my little reading a few weeks ago. And it just brought out all the obvious stuff that was going on in my life and how I was not able to even think forever. Like, no wonder I didn't have no fucking clarity, because I've been so caught up in everybody else's energies. But I'll try to keep it short, because I'll just keep talking for a fucking hour straight if I just keep going. But the whole thing, Tanya opened the door. She talked about, how do you keep yourself well in these, these winter times where people are suffering through depression or whatever. And I've been going through that moment with myself, like, as far as like the lulls, the lulls were like, oh, things are not exciting. Things are getting boring as fuck. And I've been like having all these realizations and aha moments when I just gave myself the break to process and disentangle from everybody out of love, because I love everybody around me. And I got caught up being a Linda person, just like, oh, you need to embrace, it's a collective experience. It's all about the collective. You guys need to be spending time with your kids. And I just got caught up in that. It's like, man, I got to be selfish as fuck, because that's the only way I get the clarity. So these realizations, aha moments, I've been getting into, what, fuck it. Is it okay if I go on a rant for a little bit? Because it's going to.
For a little bit.
I might open the door.
Like
and, you know what? Fuck it. I'll wait, because I'm just gonna keep running my mouth. But, yeah, but
I'll go.
the fuck. Yeah, go, Amy, because I'm just gonna keep running my mouth.
Well, when I think of human, I think of always it comes to mind is the amusement park. That's where I live, in the amusement park of life. There's the roller coaster, the ups, the downs. There's the tunnel of love. There's the shooting range where you shoot the ducks down and get prizes, and the Ferris wheel, you go around and loop and loop and loop. So sometimes I just take a little stroll through the amusement park of life. That's how it feels for me. Oh, and all the goodies and the tasties, yes. The food at the amusement park. So yeah.
Well, if we look, what distinguishes us from an animal is the capacity to reflect upon our actions, reactions, responses, and all of that. So, one of the major things with being human, I would say, is that we have the observer and the observed at the same time. So it's almost like we have these two personalities in one, where we can shift from observer into actor and observer, that kind of thing. That's I think is a very, very specific human thing. And for Sean and Mary, we asked the question to kick it off here. But what does it actually mean to be human? What is it like? That kind of thing. So having that capacity to choose the silence and the quietness, and then go straight back into action. And I think with the forthcoming Christmas time, solstice and everything, it's a particularly good time for us to choose that, because of what's going on with the accelerating energies, because of the people getting together as families, and to really, really, like we said last time, mediation, but observation, even without mediation, and just stepping into that beingness, becoming the mediator as through the beingness, just showing up. Because it's easy to say we've already gone beyond the monks in the mountains, but now we've got to take it even further and say, yeah, we are those urban shamans. And you know what? We don't need even tools or techniques that we have to present to people, because most of the people at this point are not even interested. I'm finding that. People just not interested. There's just too much going on in their heads, in their worlds. And I think this is such an invitation for the people who have done the work to really practice that holding space business and just be. And but take note observe yourself as you just be. How do you impact on people, and how do people impact on you when you step into that observer mode? What else is out there? What makes us human?
I think the idea of pleasure, that acknowledgement of, I mean, there's so many things to take pleasure in. You know, Alfredo was just saying he's sunbathing. And I mean, that is such a wonderful resource, right? Think about just sitting outside with the sun on your face, with the sun on your head, with the sun, shining through your heart, and how that just, it affects you on a cellular level, right? When we do that. And that's one of my favorite, daily practices. And it just is so pleasurable to really feel that alignment with the light and the light codes that come through there.
I would have said it as like being able to see the beauty in things, which is taking pleasure in them, like the sunrise, the sunset, a meteor shower, light reflecting off of water. I mean, we can stop and we can really appreciate the beauty in everything around us, despite whatever is going on in our day, like just to stop and notice something that's really beautiful.
So that includes choice, right? That's another thing that the human being really is getting better at, and understanding that free will, that we're living in a free will universe, galaxy, planet, because it's not so understandable for an animal, because the animal is still sort of animated through instincts rather than an intellectualized knowingness that we add as the human being, which includes the soul journey. We have an understanding of the soul journey. And I think that's a big thing of being a human being, because we can literally not just create our life here in this reality, we can start looking at our other fractal dynamics on other timelines, dimensions, and universes, and then of course we can literally practice the death process and impact through our choices that we make here now on a conscious level, impact our afterlife.
I think, Martina, too, just for me, that there is something in it about the senses, and there is something in the senses that connects me to my humanness. And there's something in that experience that really, it makes my human journey worthwhile. Because, even when Jennifer was describing, looking at something beautiful, and what Tanya described, it all feels very sensual. And as I was saying, as well for myself, I have been through a bereavement in the last week, and I have to say I was thrown like full blown into my senses in every sense of the word. And it did feel like very human. It felt very intense. I felt very powerful in that space. And I think that that's what, being in touch with the senses and the experience of what is that's around us and within us, and the senses we don't even know that we have. It has that sense of grounding us, and it has that sense of, there's a word that I'm looking for, that it does something for our journey. And I can't think of the word, but I know what I want to say, and I can't think of the word to describe it. I'll think of it later, but that's just what really, just off the top of my head, it's what I think enhances my humanness, really, rather than maybe what makes me human, but it certainly enhances the journey.
It's also, as you mentioned, bereavement, that there is a connection to the one who obviously left. So there is that relationship, and I think that is actually another thing the human being is very good at in work, you know, with and relating. I mean, this, you know, and understanding the relating beyond what the animal does for procreation. We understand the relationships from a completely different, more expanded perspective, because this is also how we as human beings starting to really recognize that we are really an important species, not just for the earth evolution, but for the entire universal evolution. We are really important.
I love that, Mary, because I like kind of just like going with the flow of nature. When I think about all this stuff, I think about the galactic ascension machine and the 66 prime karma creating planets and how we were part of it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the infinite things that we've done as becoming a unified species, becoming human. And then remember that we're the guardians for this ecosystem, for this world, and that we're responsible for all our actions. And that's breaking it down into like the simpler aspects that we were just previously talking about a lot, and just being human, you know, just we're responsible where we focus our direction becomes alive. So, you know, we can have fun, we can smell our senses, we can flow with nature, we can breathe, we can feel what we really have been trying to avoid to feel. And it's okay. We can laugh, we can take a shit, we can just do what we got to do because we just are moving with nature. Part of the human experience. So we're a lot of stuff, but what are we going to do with all that stuff?
And it's all around us too. You know, when you said, Sean, about, you know, you thought about the galactic ascension machine and all of that, and that's all wonderful. But actually, just the walk by the lake and observing the sunset is equally as wonderful and equally as powerful and equally as connecting. And that's something that I've come to realize a lot this year, that there is so much richness just right where I am. There is so much information just right where I am. And yes, the other stuff excites me, and learning new things excites me, and finding out more and more and more. But I always have to come back to base, to ground, to be here, to be calm, to be peaceful. That's really what does it for me.
Damn straight. And like, that's just the macro and micro scales. And it doesn't matter what scale we do it on.
No.
It's so much fun walking in the park and seeing it through your eyes and feel the wind blow on your skin, because that's a hidden language all itself that is not so hidden. We actually feel it and makes us smile. And then it's fun. And then you just feel that peace a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of out on a limb all the time, just constantly too far out. Just, you know, just hanging out, sitting down, have a cup of coffee or tea, or Christmas time.
Yeah, and yet while we're doing that, I suppose, Sean, too, you know, it's the multidimensional aspect. We're also doing all the other things that we have talked about, and at the same time. So I love that feeling and that thought. You know, I'm sitting here talking to you now, but what else am I doing? Where else am I right now?
And damn straight, and like, we got to do all this in this dimension. So we're bringing heaven to earth. So we got to do all this on this plane of reality. So we got to go for walks and have fun. You know, so we can do it here. So all those things come to life.
Yeah.
So do you remember, like, in the COVID years where, you know, we weren't even allowed to go to the parks? And as soon as you started, you know, get a chance to go into the park, there was an eeriness about the parks, right? It was almost like, because there were no humans walking through it, it was filled with entities that was just floating all over the place. And it was just really, really eerie, this whole thing. Because we, as you guys just said, we as human beings, we anchor that energy in. just by walking through the park. This is what our technology is all about. We are transmuters, conductors, and this is where the beingness comes in. The beingness is pretty much the highest form of spirit, really. You know, there's the doing is more like all about consciousness and all about that, but the beingness goes so far beyond. That's where we become that very clean channel between life force, intelligent life force, and we're bringing it down. We're bringing it down to the other kingdoms, to the other 3 kingdoms, and then we're bringing it down to the earth. And this is what we do. And it's the same with houses. How many times have you had a house where you left your house on holidays and came back and it was like, whoa, 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 this is not my house anymore, you know? Everything is weird until you spend a couple of hours there, or send yourself. What I do now sometimes, if nobody is in the house and I'm coming into the airport, I send myself in advance to go into the house, and just, you know, get everything back into order, familiarize myself with the house and the house with my energy.
I love that feeling. It feels like the house is like sleeping. It's just quiet. It's kind of like dead. It's like, it's just so empty for a little bit.
And
The humans over here are ripping down the gates and all the things that they were trying to block off with the parks, because everybody wanted to go out and have fun. You know? It's like, you can't let COVID restrict me from walking out in the open. So literally all the gates, they put them up, and then like the next day or two, like people were like ripping them off. People are going into the parks.
I did that, and I got
free will to be free, you know.
I got an $880 fine, and I had to reevaluate my life choices.
I did.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well,
From walking in a park?
No, I went to the beach and just moved the plastic thing out of the way.
Restriction gate.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it was interesting during that time around here, you know, I mean, I never stopped going out and walking and doing things and you know, just walking the dog every day. There were places that were closed down, but there were ways to get in that, you know, because nobody was around, they didn't really patrol anything. So that was good for me. But one of the things I really loved seeing during that time were the pictures of animals all around the world who were just, you know, trotting down empty streets and, you know, sunbathing on, you know, in the middle of the road, in the middle of the sidewalk. You know, you just don't really see that anymore. So I think there was a really interesting, it seems like this is going on with the animal kingdom anyway, that animals are becoming more involved in sort of like the human journey. And I had an interesting experience yesterday. I went and sat in the Harmonic Egg over in Castro Valley, which is about a 40-minute drive from where I am. And every time I go to this lady's house, there's an animal that makes itself known to me. You know, sometimes it's a deer, sometimes it's a cat. I've seen coyotes, and yesterday it was hummingbirds. I saw 4 different hummingbirds that just sort of like flew almost right up in my face and were like talking to me, right? Saying, "Hey, we're here. We're supporting your journey." You know, I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you. I see you. Thank you for being here, friends." Yeah. So for me, I this over the last couple of years, I've just gotten, you know, I feel more affinity and I feel closer, right, to the wild animals, but also the domestic animals as well.
And you know, the 2 stones in your background look like bunny ears.
Oh, they do actually, yes. 4 little devil's horns.
Yeah, that speaks to the holiday fun I've been having. I've been doing a lot of baking, which is one of my favorite joyful things to do. The problem with that is then I end up eating everything also.
Well,
I have to share it and give it away to my neighbors and friends and as gifts and things like that. But
I suppose that's human too, right?
Mhm.
To sometimes overeat, overdrink, whatever, and then, you know, go back into, you know, knowing that there's always choices and we can shift.
Mhm. Indeed. Indeed. It makes it fun for me.
I
Amy.
was just thinking that. No, I was just thinking that about food and how wonderful food can taste. Oh my gosh, that just, and then when I couldn't taste food, like from a cold or something, it was like, oh my gosh, taking it for such granted. It's like, I couldn't taste anything. I was like distraught, like, what? How much I love to taste new things, different things, you know. I'm not a picky eater at all. I can, you know, not like, you know, tongues or anything, not like those kind of things, but no, food as a human, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Nice to have that variety in the diet instead of eating the same old dietary program every day, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the love that is in the preparation, and we've heard so many times Alfredo talk to us about, you know, how he loves preparing the meat, and the meat tastes so much better. You know, I've just had my week in Austria, and my mom just, she expresses her love through cooking. So she just loves cooking. And you know, the receiving, to sit back and just let somebody do all the cooking, and all you need to do is eat it, you know. So it's just, there is a lot of expression of love in that. That's a very human thing as well, you know. I mean, obviously animals feed their babies as well. Oh, who's that little doggy there? Is that your baby? Oh, check him out, he's coming on. Hello. Oh.
This is Bango. He's named after a cartoon monkey.
Uh-huh.
And go.
Bango.
Yeah, and he came in with when we were talking about the animals.
Mhm.
Commune.
You talk
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm present.
Yeah.
Watika. Watika.
Hmm.
Yeah, I used to work with someone who is very, very technically gifted, and she would go and study, go on vacation and study with like Michelin star chefs for a week, you know, and work in their kitchen. And she was technically, her cooking was perfect, but there wasn't it when you ate it, it was like, okay, right? Because there was so much focus on being technically perfect that the love wasn't there.
Yeah.
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 And you can really, you can taste that. You can taste it. Yeah.
A few nights ago, I just cooked like a mac and cheese on the stove, just with like really simple ingredients and like not fancy stuff, like some hamburger and some elbow noodles, the milk, butter, some spices, and just had that on the stove, just regular cheese, and just that boiling it on the stove and making it yourself and watch it all come together. It tastes so good. Like it tastes like a million times better than anything you get out of a box. It's
Hell yeah.
like home.
Well, and it's alchemy, right? Where you're taking the raw ingredients and blending them together to make something delicious and magical and healing and nurturing and sustaining.
I've actually been meaning to read more recipes out loud because it's crazy. Like I can read revocations like crazy, but when it comes to read like recipe, I notice I like skip through it really quick, try to like get to the end and look at the recipe and not see the step-by-step process.
So I want to share an experience I had just last week about you guys talking about cooking and stuff like that. So I was originally going to make shepherd's pie, and when I got the ground meat out, I guess I had it a couple of days too long in the refrigerator. And so when I took it out, it didn't smell good. And so I'm like, this is not going to go in my dish. So all the ingredients I had chopped up and everything like that, I'm thinking to myself, and I needed to finish dinner by a certain time because my son was going to come home for a dinner/lunch to have dinner, and he had an hour's break and then get back to work. So I needed to get the food done by the time he got home. So I'm like thinking, what the heck am I going to do now? How am I going to take what I already chopped up and have to make the shepherd's pie and turn it into something else that would be tasty and delicious? And so I said, okay, I had some chicken cutlets and I decided like, okay, I'm going to use the gravy mix that I was going to put in the pie and turn it into a chicken gravy or something like that. And I'm thinking, Then I'm looking at the package and it said put some wine in there. And I'm thinking, do I have the proper wine to put in here? And I'm looking around and then I saw I had Marsala wine. And I said, ooh, I'm going to add Marsala wine into this. So I transformed the whole meal into a chicken Marsala, which turned out to be even more delicious than what the shepherd's pie would have tasted like, because I only make that on special occasions. And so all the ingredients I already had chopped up was so perfect for that transformation into a Marsala, chicken Marsala meal. And I finished on time and everything was so perfect. So thinking about being human, this is one of the things we as humans is capable of doing, is taking one thing and alchemizing it into something else and still make it so tasty and delicious in the end.
Great
Something
work.
about food. Like it's like
What?
food's such an amazing opportunity that takes so many different chances and just so many different synchronicities and put them all together and finish them on time, like your son coming. It's like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because you have that pressure now to work. That, gosh, I got to finish this at a certain time. I can't play around and think about it too much. I just got to work, work, work. Take what you got, get it done. It's like watching them cooking shows, where they only give you an hour to get done and they only give you like 5 ingredients, and you got to make something out of it and it's got to taste good so the judges can say, okay, yours is the best. I felt that pressure to get it done and make
I do that
stress and
too.
discomfort is good, it'll get you going.
Yeah.
I do that too, Lana. When I look at my fridge, I'm like, what can I make? And it comes like shoop, 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 all together. Okay. It's fun to challenge. I like the challenge.
I think when you're under pressure, you don't have the time and leisure to think too much. And that's when it turns out to be the best meal,
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
We have a joke around here with our friends. My husband really loves eggs, and so we always sing to the the tune of the Beyonce song "Put a Ring on It." If you like it, then you better crack an egg on it. So you can put an egg on anything, and it makes it a meal.
My mother's philosophy on cooking is to throw everything in a pot. You don't measure anything. Whatever seems like it'll go together, and then you just hope for the best. That's how I cook.
Exactly.
How do they come out?
It always comes out delicious. Like I've never really
Awesome.
anything that people didn't want to eat.
I learned something lately when cooking. If you put enough herbs and spices in your food, no matter what you cook, it's going to taste good in the end. So I put some hot pepper flakes in there and stuff like that. You got to have the spices, and you just like Emerald Lagasse would say, bam, and you
Bam.
just bam everything.
Have you all tried his spice blend, the Emerald's Essence? It used to be called Bayou Blast. But that, if you want to make Cajun food, if you look up that recipe on the internet, that makes it really good. Bam.
I was just reflecting on that, like Andrew show, Dale and everyone, like about food the other day, and it just was talking about how we have all these DNA memories that we have attached to food, and like how they're kind of severed and split from GMO modified food, et cetera, et cetera. but cooking with the ingredients can kind of help us dig into past life memories, etc. But then it got me thinking last night, it's like, with what you're saying, Lana, with spices, it's like the spice rack really is that gateway, because it, like, you know, all these spices were partitioned off to different parts of the world, and we have access to all those different local places within the world that are mostly, and generally the spices are pretty unadulterated. They're kind of freeform. And then the spice mixes, like Tanya was saying, like, you know, you get a straight hit from something delicious someplace in Louisiana.
And you don't even need to go to Louisiana. You can just mix it here. Like for me, I grow herbs in my garden, right? I've got thyme and oregano and basil and rosemary and different types of chives, you know, and fruit trees too.
I do the same. I like to, like I even have ginger and turmeric and things like in pots that I can dig up and just trim off what I need, and whatever I could grow in my garden, I would can. So I have, like, when I would can tomatoes, I would do revocations over them before I would can them. And so, like, the more that I could incorporate from my land into what I made, the better it tasted and the better it felt. I was thinking about that shit too, Sean.
Nice.
Yeah, I do that in the summertime too. I plant the herbs, and then when I'm ready to go make dinner or something like that, I'd go out in the garden and like, what can I grab here to, like, bam, my food with. It's
Bam!
always fun.
Spice weasel, bam! Alfredo.
Get some Alfredo steak, bam, and that seasoning there. Throw it on the grill.
So this is like all going back to natural living, yeah? Natural and simplistic and simple living. Is that the energy that's coming through quite a bit? Do you feel that?
In
Well, it's like-
summertime for me, it comes through a lot more than winter.
It's because we can take control of the natural living. Because it's not that, like, you know, going to the grocery store is not very natural. It's just the way the world is actually right now. It's just so severed in the grocery store that we're not actually getting proper stuff. And if it wasn't so severed, that would be like really natural. Go get the groceries, come back and cook it. But we have to, you know, to the state of the reality, sometimes we have to take some extra steps ourselves to take control.
And you're also not getting, when you go to the grocery store, you're not getting the local frequency, the energy. Because if you look at the labels, sometimes you can have stuff coming from like Chile or Argentina. And that's like the other part of the world, you know. They're also almost in the Arctic, the Antarctic area. Sometimes you'd have grapes coming all the way down from Chile down there in Argentina, coming up here to you, and you're eating off of that frequency that is so far beyond the other side of the equator.
And you're not getting it from a small loving farm. You know, you're not getting it from that heart-spaced environment that's traveling across the world. You're usually getting it from, you know, something mass produced and people, slave labor going into it, which goes into the taste and stuff. Like some of the darker.
Well, think of all the different places where that produce would stop off at, and then transfer to a boat, a truck, another boat, another truck, or whatever. You know, it's that shift of frequency every time it moves from one place to the next, and it's probably collecting all of that before it gets to you.
It's like crystals, you gotta clear them before you get them, you know. Yeah.
Where they're grown in hydroponic places that don't have a connection to the earth, they don't get real sun, they get artificial light, then they get harvested before they're really ripe so that they'll last long enough to be on the shelf and you take them home. They coat them in wax. Like a homegrown cucumber doesn't taste at all like a store-bought cucumber. So by the time they process things in all those ways too, just so that it lasts long enough for you to bring it home, it's not the same. It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't have the same frequency. It doesn't have the same nutrition because it doesn't have the minerals coming out of the soil. Like we have to put minerals in our soil to really grow nutritious vegetables at home. So all of it's different when it comes from the store than when it comes from home.
Yeah. But I did Java frozen pizza the other night, and I I cut up olives and I cut up pieces of chicken that I had left over, put it on, and I did that little olive oil thing that Andrew was talking about. And
Nice.
I put it close to the fire because I did not know this, and turned out way better.
That's one of the things I do also. If I say like I buy something that's frozen, a meal like ready to cook, I will always add a little extra into it, some extra spices or some extra vegetables or something like that, to turn it into my meal. Not exactly what is I'm purchasing, you know. So it becomes alchemized into something new for me, with my energy being now put into it. So
Yeah,
I
like
understand what you're saying there.
something a little new,
Mhm.
some mold, you know, she's coming into becoming our own.
Right.
One of my practices has been, you know, I've been doing Reiki for over 20 years, and one of my practices has been to, well, Reiki the food, but also to just give the love and gratitude going back to the place that it came from. So, you know, you were talking about it stopping here and stopping there when it's imported, right? So what I do is I just send that love and gratitude back to the food for its journey, right? So wherever it traveled to and wherever it originated, to just give that, you know, give some love and gratitude and energy to the place that it came from, right? Especially the meats, because I feel like, you know, if there is meat coming from a situation that is, you know, not necessarily ideal for the animal, I want to send back that love and thanks and gratitude. And yeah, so maybe then some of that energy ripples to the other animals that are there and to the land that's there.
It's wild, like how we can just compile all these thoughts and principles just by having fun and having lots of laugh preparing the food, to really honor everything that came through it, just by really honoring it or having that fun, awesome, loving frequency. It kind of does everything. It really does does a lot.
Yeah, and that speaks to intention, right? When you set that intention, then it's always better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's add another level of gratitude. You know, as we are consuming the food, we are turning this whole thing around, and we are actually contributing to the plant kingdom and to the animal kingdom, as they have an experience through being consumed by us. So there is a mutual contribution going on at the same time, you know, and that's also a part of acknowledging who and what you are as a human. So what about dreams? Isn't the fact that we can dream and that we can reflect on the dreams and that we can draw lessons from the dreams part of being human?
Yeah, the dream time has been very interesting.
I was just about to say, so how has it been for you guys? I've been finding that my dreams are taking me backwards at the moment, almost like showing me, like, you know, to give you an example, I mean, I was in a dream the other day where I opened the drawers and I found a pair of trousers that I used to wear, I don't know, 20 years ago. You know, it's like taking me back, and I'm thinking, oh, it's so nice. I thought about that, you know. And then I thought, it's like almost like the invitation that is out there is think back. What, like, especially if you think of, we're all multi-modality practitioners, what are the modalities or the first thing you've ever learned that you haven't really, you know, reconnected with? It's almost that there's a reconnection to not necessarily past lives or that too, but just that reminder, remember that. You got that? Anyone? Or what are your dreams like?
For
They're like
me,
you go, Tanya.
well, for me, it seems like I'm walking through different dream time cities and different dream time spaces, and encountering and talking to people, and walking with people and walking through. So I go to a lot of different, I don't know, like different cities and different, I don't know, hotels and beaches and different spaces, and it's almost like I'm experiencing different dream time cities and different people who are there. And I always call, before I go to bed, I say, as I walk through the dreamtime cities of Earth and the North Pole and the South Pole, help me commune with the ancestors and the future generations, right? So it seems like there's also an energetic blending that's happening in my dream time of both of those energies, of the ancestor energies. Like sometimes there'll be teacher energies, and I'll sort of like walk by almost like a class, right, where there's a being that's teaching, and I'm just sort of like being a witness, right, holding a space, right, as I sort of like walk my path through things. But I'm showing up in other people's dreams too. Melanie just sent me a message that she had a really interesting dream where we were all sitting around a council, and I brought in a bunch of kyanite and set it on the table, right? This alignment energy. So yeah, so it's been interesting. And I think sometimes, I'll dream with my dog. She'll show up in my dreams. That's always really fun when that happens, because we're always playing and having fun, doing something fun.
Cool.
Sean, did you have something to say? A comment?
Oh, I was just thinking of mine. Like mine are like all these, like whatever's kind of lingering around in like the background frequency of my blood. And like there's a lot that hasn't came to resolution yet. And there a couple nights ago I had a two-parter, and like the first, I couldn't remember the first one as well. But I was literally everyone was getting into these like mech suits. And not like the Gundam style mech suits, but like the like that the military guy off of Avatar, that kind of mech suit where you're walking around, So that was the first one. And then the second part, there was it was kind of like a game I used to play, but it was like Jurassic Park tag, but it was real. So like I was going around all the places, and we had to hide because there was like dinosaurs and like velociraptors, and we were like didn't want to get eaten by these dinosaurs, so we had to like climb into places and make forts. And it's like still all this background video game frequency, because I used to play this game a lot called Jurassic Park tag, and you would like hide in the forest and you'd make a base camp and the dinosaurs would come and attack you. But instead of me playing a game, I was that game. Like I was playing it with all my senses, feelings, actions. It's pretty intense when you play Jurassic Park tag in the flesh. It's a bit different than playing it on a computer. But yeah, so that was there. I was like, whoa, this is intense. But like obviously still a lot of that's circulating around in my consciousness. All those games that I played. And like, have I fulfilled the experiences of them? Am I done with them?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe
But
not
it
if
was
you're
like,
still processing in them in the dream time.
yeah, but it was a great connection to be able to understand that that's what this was. Because at many other times I'd have the dream and just have no recollection or see the connection to what it was actually was, or like what it was.
A few nights ago, I had a dream that I had a bloody nose, and I was like, what, why is this happening? And so I was, I woke up, I'm like, oh, that's really weird. I've never dreamed of that. And so I was like Googling, what does it mean to have a bloody nose in your dream? And I mentioned it to my husband. He's like, oh, that's really weird. I had a bloody nose in the middle of the night.
Really?
That's
So I'm
funny.
like, oh, that wasn't a message for me. I was connecting with his energy. Right.
Sharing
That
dreams.
that was really funny.
Carrying bloody noses.
Yeah. I was like, what? Like, that's never happened.
Oh, it's so funny to think of sometimes. It's like the marital couples that have shared bed space for 50, 60, 70 years and all their shared dreaming.
Well, then if you look at them, they sort of start to look alike after that amount of time too.
Oh, like, yeah, my parents, it's like they got their own language. It's like, oh my. Because this is from being together so long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So where is this humanness taking us?
I think it depends on who we are, right? I think for me, I thought about your revocation and looked at, read your words and really, thought about all of the upgrades that we're going through, and for me, this journey has been very, very active and very conscious, right? The spiritual awakening journey, the ascension journey, and the work that I do, like on the physical, and it's not all encompassing because I have a really good time. I do take time off and, have fun and play and commune with people but there's always this energy in the background for me of, okay, what is my path and purpose, and how can I continue to open more fully to that? How can I continue to be mindful about what's happening in my body on a cellular level, right? In the blood and in the nervous system and in the digestive system and in the lung space, and it's just continual learning and growing and then assimilating, right? It's like we gather information and we say, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, I'm going to integrate this, or that practice, it's not really resonating with me. And so, now for me on my journey, this journey of humanness, this next layer is really more about a recognizing and awareness of the energetic family entanglements that were sort of put upon me as a child, right? The energy of my parents not being able to feel or process their emotions, right? And so we as children, I'm the oldest of 4, right? We took a lot of their energy, right? And I never really realized how much until relatively recently. So that process of detangling, and I sort of had a revelation this morning as I was thinking about this. And it's like, when you read ascended masters or who say, okay, your key to enlightenment is like letting go. And it was like a whole new realization for me about what that meant, right? You think about like what are you letting go of, right? Material things, desire for wanting. There's like that level, but this level of like letting go of the energetic entanglements from family, right? It's because it's twisted into the DNA code, right? And there are contracts and agreements there, right? When you're incarnating into a family to help each other grow, right? To help each other learn. And sometimes it's karmic, and sometimes it's just to, help connect with the earth and the soul family, and, having the rich experiences. And so for me, it's like an awakening and a deeper understanding of what that means and how it affects my life and my path and process. So I've been reflecting on that.
I
lot.
absolutely love that, Tanya. Because when you're talking about that, I can see just what letting go means to you. And it's like, I can just see how it's like a fractal image that just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper the further we practice our spiritual growth. And the meaning just gets more powerful and powerful and powerful. The whole, like, as we keep going further along. Because at first it starts out just letting go, just a superficial term. What does it all mean? And then it becomes attached to different aspects of our life and anatomy, and then you can't separate them, and it becomes more and more beautiful.
Well, and to me, right, it's as your soul self, like those layers of your higher multidimensional soul self become more and more embodied, right? It's like they can't sit down in your body if you have other people's energy up in your space, right? And I see this all the time with the people that I work with, where they're so empathic, and they just take other people's emotional energy, and it fills them up so much that boop, they pop right out of their body.
Yeah, we literally got these bubbles of space within ourselves, and we're just like, fill them up with junk, fill them up. And then like other aspects of ourselves are like, well, those spheres of creation, those empty voids of space are full. So, they just kind of hover around. They can't really get in.
Yeah. Well, and people
lungs are
wonder
holding
why can't I manifest this, or why can't I manifest that? Well, it's because you're not in your body, right? You have a whole bunch of energetic stuff in there that's not yours. So let's help you clear that out, help create the energy pathways for you to really like get back in your body and feel what that feels like. First of all, because maybe you haven't been in there since you're a kid. Yeah. So I think it's a process for all of us, and just that recognizing the embodied alignment works much better the more you detangle from other people's crap.
Absolutely. Because I look at that in two ways usually too. And it's like the exterior crap that we've taken in, and then our self-created crap. It's just crap. We knew it was opposite of nature when we started with the crap, and then we filled it up and made it more part of our reality, and getting rid of that too.
Okay, so keep all that in mind. If you are winging it as we're doing our future treatment into the future now, I'm going to start reading. I'm going to do the intro, the one I sent out, and then you just get on with it, whoever wants to continue, until we are coming to the end. And then what I will do is we will put it into the timeline. Okay? Do maybe a little clearing on anything that doesn't allow that. And then we're going to put it into, we're just going to look at where our timeline is, and then we're going to put it into the future timeline, right? Are we ready?
Ready.
Yeah, cool. So just fill in your own names now as we get started here. This I am presence in the eternal moment of the now, call to my entire hub of interconnectivity that make up my multidimensional avatar, including all of my I am that I am aspects of my divine monadic origin, to witness my sovereign declaration and loving appreciation for all the healings, achievements, and soul integrations that I have made, and I'll make, and I will make in the future, and that make me the person that I am in the eternal now. With eternal gratitude for my soul's blueprint and ever-evolving spiritual quality, as well as my soul family support and everyone in eternal degrees of separation, I herewith ask them to support me and facilitate my connection to the future version of myself. On this winter solstice, the 21st of December, 2022, to coordinate, reorient, and mutually cooperate on the way forward. We are in agreement of the significance of this lifetime with regards to our contribution to my individual soul development, as well as the group soul consciousness, Earth's ascension, the upgrades in the galactic center and consciousness at large. Having prepared for this eternal moment for eons of time, I herewith demand of my future I am avatar to move beyond the imaginable into the realm of magic, wisdom, and love that is supporting as well as which is being supported by the accelerating times of change. I'm transfiguring my avatar into eternal love and divine, innovative, galactic, and universal mediation as the expression of my unique signature frequency. It is my intention to not limit the possibilities of expansion, transformation, transfiguration, transmigration, translocation, rejuvenation, and herewith note the following.
I release and resolve permanently the limitations I placed on myself consciously and unconsciously that restrict or inhibit my full integration and expression of all that I am. I remove shame, blame, and guilt from my frequency in all dimensions, time, space, and galaxies. I allow full remembering now of all that I am and restore access to all memories and abilities that serve my highest outcome. I remember now the forgotten aspects of me and restore them fully into my Hall of Akashic records. And I permanently remedy and resolve all remaining karma for which I have accepted accountability.
I, Lana, in this ever-present moment of now, call to all my parts, shards, and avatars to come together and form around me my own hub of interconnectivity. And this I am here, me, this being of the now, as the anchor into earth, being like as the center and the ball bearing of a wheel multidimensionally. I now share with you as I start emanating from me the frequency of universal peace, a peace that is source connected and light that knows no selfishness but love. We now bring into view in 1 degree of separation the many illusions of the past that were either self-created demons or forced upon us as slaves in society by the most hideous of systems, that is domination and control. We now, being as the interconnective nation of one and working together now as a nation of one, is more powerful than anything the system can create as their dream illusion. We together now outcreate them. I now gather you I now gather you up in my arms of light, each one of you, and wrap the calm and peaceful light of source connection around you. And I'm letting you know that you did all you could, can, and had to do in your era of time. With the many, many limitations in place, which were placed there before your path in a 100% free will universe, galaxy, solar system, and planet. But know this, because you always had love in your heart and consciousness, your light, our light, was never nor ever extinguished by the many, many forces and projections of darkness. To my future selves, I send to all of you the many color frequencies the universe has as an offering, as part of the fifth world of peace. The love we are as a nation of one continues to expand into greater love of the whole multidimensionally. To the all of us as a nation of one, please know this. We have made it in this very moment of now in the galactic ascension machine. We have become a cog in its wheel. We are an anchor point in the great Dreamtime awakening. We are our own center of activity in this disunity paradox remedy reality. Your hard work and your continuous preparation from the past and future to be here in the now has created me. This I am, to be the anchor, speaking these words, who was created from your light, our light, and by the light. The collective experience of the past that added great and powerful weight to the entire wholeness of us, that anchored deep down in the ocean of awareness that allows stability in the storm of race amnesia. So now, what this force evolution will always fail at is trying to predict us as a nation of one. They shall continue to fail day by day, night by night, until their struggles for power over future sentient kind as gods, kings, pharaohs, emperors, and by every other name they crown themselves with, has waned and is being diminished to zero minus infinity. You all, as parts, shards, and avatars of the past, present, and future, has created me to represent you in this very moment of now. And now, to all of my ancestors multidimensionally, past, present, and future, who has molded and chiseled me, fed me, sheltered me, cared for me, taught me the language of light, so I may be your ancestral representative of the now. I thank each and every one of you, and I'm proud to be called your ancestor and soul family in this present moment of now. Your tremendous love and care for me, believing in me, you have but added immense wisdom to this present creation of light that is me here, as this I am being in the now. Thank you once again for holding your light up within the dark caverns of race amnesia. I can now still hear the drums and the stamping of feet around the fires, beating to the rhythm of the heartbeat of Earth Mother. This feeling brings me great joy, knowing that you have continued beating those drums for me, which you know I will hear and love so much, holding space for me. I am truly humbled by your tremendous love for me. The weight from the system can seem more than we are willing to bear at times, together with my brothers and sisters here. But know this, my ancestors and soul families all across the many galaxies and universes, I am still here and I love it. Thank you for choosing me as your representative. We, the children of the now, with all my brothers and sisters here in this Zoom room, will make you, the ancestors, proud because you believed in us. Let us now join hands here, where the red road and blue road crosses over, and the hub of at the hub of interconnectivity, for the great remembering has begun. Aho.
That was beautiful, Lana. Can't stop
Thank
smiling. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Alfredo.
Aho.
Who's next?
I am a child of all galaxies, universes, and dimensions. From my mother's womb, I was birthed, like the light rays of a crystal, traversing with intentions. Isha anapuka lika tuka bogati. I am where? I am who? I am what? I am source of spirit, incarnate, ancient future now. Although I am a corporeal, a skin suit, a mortal from a portal, concrete, intangible, Shomina kupika kuna shinunuka. My purpose is clear. I came to Mother Earth to renew, to witness, to share this big little light of mine. Beneka lola tikarnaga bonituka yayama. And to my future self of thee, feel the layers of strength and valor that I have built, because it will not wilt. It just flows on with glee that I know is a guarantee. Kanasuki lama shakumana, tuyi labati. During this present moment of now in solstice time, O ancient future self of now, rest in the peace of the darkness, for your inner light never dims. So please allow all that needs to be honored, destroyed, and victorious. Remember, the new beginnings will be glorious. Shinakalatila, Tite Ula, Bana, Kusimati, Luma, Kiki Umanati. Like the angels of heaven heard on high, you will never die, future self of I. Your majestic being will just alchemize. So please realize the seeds that I plant today will bear fruit while in the darkest of days. Momaya, tika shuno, yatika shashu, nayami titi. I ask, dear ancient future now, please assist as I transmute and transform, for my soul is yearning and emerging, so that when we are together in the garden of tranquility, the spirit of the child will always exist within me, the magnificent, infinite bubble of light from this day carry forward until we meet again, sweet soul. Remember, onward. Mushu kalatina ga uchi. Matia kamatu migama tutuma shishinati. Maganatuga na tutumade ga le ma. Oh.
That was
Beautiful,
gorgeous.
Amy.
Holy shit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
So herewith, I note the following areas of attention. Releasing my family energetic entanglements, especially the emotional entanglements with my father from the young ages of me. Releasing what I need to release so I can be more fully aligned with the pieces and multidimensional parts of my blueprint, Earth Mother, and the All One. Let me stand on the line between balance of the light and the darkness and hold space for my greater journey of awakening, knowingness, and remembering. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else who wants to add something? Alfredo, Sean?
I don't have anything prepared.
Okay, I think Alfredo might.
I do, but is anybody else? Collecting myself after those epic ass readings.
Beautiful.
Yeah, those are way, sheesh. You guys are so creative. I was like, oh, I'm being way too out of line, but
Don't
fuck
judge
it, I'm
yourself,
gonna read it
boo.
anyways. Yeah, I don't have all these fancy words. I'm not like, oh, I'm preaching out the future shards and avatars. Man, I'm just gonna do it like me, you know? I've been watching that Weird Al Yankovic movie. I was like, man, I'm just gonna be me. And this is how I roll, you know? So
Alfredo, just be human.
yeah, I'm just being human, yo. So I'm, raising my dopamine levels. To me, being human is embracing your dopamine reward system, just enjoying the little simple activities of life. Just simple things, it doesn't have to be this super fancy, high, extreme goal, Anyways, I wrote this and being inspired in the past few weeks, the transformation I've been going through. I'm doing this for me. It's okay to be selfish, yo. You don't need to worry. You don't need to give in to the projections of others. You gave your sovereignty away the moment you started to please others with some ridiculous agenda that you created. A guise, an absolute, an identity, a mask, covering up what's really going on deep down within. A voice deep down crying for love and attention. But the persona of being a dad has taken over, blinded you once again to the truth of it all. Why so burned out, Alfredo? How come nothing seems enjoyable anymore? All those things you used to love now have such minimal meaning and purpose. You've lost your drive, your focus, your fire deep down within. It's been raging and burning recklessly for so long, burning and burning away all your energy reserves. You say and write your intentions and goals over and over and over again, yet you stay stuck in a mode of habits and behaviors. Embody your awareness, bro. The truth. You can't get no fucking clarity because you open your doors so open wide for others to invade your sacred space at every single fucking angle. The cat, the dog, the kids, your partner, coworkers, friends, or whatever the fuck. Bro, it's okay to be selfish again. It's not that hard. Don't let your partner and the projections of others get into your head, or you even convince yourself you're doing the right thing. You're justified in your own actions. Yeah, super dad. That's why you got no energy, bro. You forgot how to enjoy yourself. That's why you stood a 2-week vacation. You forgot how to even have fun. What's going on with that, man? Depleted of fuel, totally empty of energy, bro. Disbanded your inner child to be a zealot super dad with no mental clarity, distorted lights, then trying to fill the void with instant gratification dopamine releases, activities that are weak as fuck, not even fueling, assisting the journey, simply distracting you from your greater goals and journey. Bro, earn your fucking dopamine through hard work and effort. Respect your inner child within. He knows how the fuck to have fun. You just don't listen, bro. Breathing can only get you so far, and it's not the solution to everything. Why do you think you lost your motivation to freaking breathe, yo? For real. Didn't you even notice when taking the kids out seemed so forced, seemed like a burden, seemed like a chore? Too much adult activities, man. Too little childlike behavior. It's time to respect the inner child within and let him loose to run free through the woods, explore the terrain of the local land. Go to that energy vortex that you plan to. Just go explore, man, and have adventures. It's not that hard. Don't you remember when you went to college just because your parents wanted you to go, yet you didn't even want to go in the first place? Your inner child was crying, was missing. That's why you rebelled. That's why you broke free. That's why you knew how you had to let your inner child be loose and go free. All this work and no play, man. It makes things boring. So freaking boring, yo. Boring is... We're not here to get bored, yo. I'm here to have fun. Passion comes forth in many ways of expression. One of those many ways is just when you just don't care about anything at all. No one else's needs. Just to understand, I have my own inner needs. And other people don't need to understand. It's not necessary because I know what I need to be free, to fly free. Let's soar to the ends of the universe, my sacred dragon of light, guardian, guide, and way shore to my reality. Let's spark that inner blaze deep down within. Burn all this other bullshit down for the day and soar, fly, glide, and ride to glorious speeds unknown to the ends of the universe. Where we go, I don't know and I don't care. It's all about the moment, baby. It's all about the presence, the source connection, the drive, and the motivation, and the vigor to go forward. As effort is my dopamine, man. I'm here to earn that shit. Not just get it off instant gratifications. The joy and the wonders and the actions, not just the finish line. It's all in the simple activities. There's no ultimate, all-encompassing end-game goal. It's all just an experience, man. Just keep on having fun experiences. No material item can give you the light of a rich, delicious, sweet, bright experience, the power to change your very existence in a new way of living and being that is not constrained by your petty human nonsense. Yeah, Linda, I get it. It's a collective experience. Oh, what the heck? But I need to know myself as an individual level to get a deeper appreciation for the people that are around me. Otherwise, I'm surrounded by resentment, frustration, anger, masking my true inner feelings deep down within, being something I'm not. I need space away in order to miss the things I love. Sometimes break from everything is necessary, even doing the inner work, even the things that you consider healthy and optimal. Variety and change are as sisters, my dear friend. Use them to break free. Discipline can be your greatest ally, but can also be your worst enemy when it turns you into a zealot, you health freak. What good is a healthy body if you forgot how to relax and have fun, yo? You become so boring. So obvious. Variety in everything, sir. Change it up. Stir the pot. Okay, we're still on. Yeah, stir the pot, roll the dice, just do something different, man. It's all about the variety in this experience of life. I am the breather. I am the visionary. I am a master of many energies. I am the dragon rider of my realm, the keeper and tender to my inner garden, inner sanctuary of my soul, the gatekeeper, the key holder, the truth of who the fuck I am. I am Alfredo Vitoris, a writer, a musician, a giver, a receiver, a lover, a dad, a child, or whatever I want to be. It's all just a choice in the moment-to-moment experience of the reality we call life. Life is what you make it. So let's make some fun stuff, man. Have some fun experiences. Thank you, great glorious sun and moon, stars, and everything in existence. Thank you for your gifts of life. Thank you, Mother Earth, for all your caring, compassionate love you send me every day. Thank you, anybody and everybody that crosses my path to teach me the valuable lessons about myself and others on this mysterious, glorious experience of magic and wonder that is the movie of my life. The only limitation there is your imagination, bro. And that is infinite and beyond. Aho.
Bam.
Thanks for raising the frequency, bro.
It's gotta be me. I'm not this super spiritual person. I'm just me, you know? That's it.
Ay, 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 ay.
And honey, we love you just the way you are. Thank you.
You're just being human, Alfredo, just being human.
Exactly.
Raw dog.
Well done.
Sean, have you got a few things to add?
I try to put this together here and now, see what I can spit out. So I now choose to move myself towards gates of completion as I bring in the frequencies of completion. All the activities and experiences that I've been holding within my body, from my lungs and my alveoli, to my stomach with emotions and undigested food, to my blood circulating within my body, to my bones and my marrow, in my organs of my brain, all aspects that are still just holding on and refusing to come to a state of completion due to feeling inadequate. I bring to this sense of completion. I acknowledge all the incarnating beings coming to the center of the planet of the Earth, incarnating into the heart of the planet. And I acknowledge the different layers of reality within this Earth, the different layers, cities full of beings and realms of creation. I acknowledge how these radiate outwards, these different layers of reality, radiating further and further outwards until they come to the surface world of the Earth, where we are living on, the ancient of the ancient, the masters of our creation, the totality of all sentiment of the Earth radiating outwards. We are the masters of our own creation. I now observe myself recording my own history into the Akashic record. I see the records of my own life being recorded into the matrices of my bone. I observe this, and I am now interconnected with past and future. I now choose to activate every DNA rung of awareness that connects to each different epoch of time that I choose or have lived in before. So I can observe each epoch of time as a sacred neutral observer and bring all these moments of history to this moment of the now. I am a sacred neutral observer, and all of these aspects that refuse to come to completion, I now bring to completion as I step forward into this brand new moment of the now, full of brand new human experiences, full of love, laughter, and joy. I am the compilation of all versions of myself. I am more than I ever thought I could be, and I bring this into the moment of the now. Aho.
Nice, Sean.
Oh,
Thanks, bro. Using your
Nice.
frequency.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Very good, Sean. That was very good.
Cool. To
I
help,
just- oh.
yeah.
No,
Let
I
me
just wanted to add something into the hub.
go for it, yeah.
Just a painting that I did of my dragon. So I want to put this in there.
Put that in there.
Oh,
Fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to round it off to health, wealth, and well-being, to emotional and financial independence through our soul intelligence and innovative creativity, healing in line with the Earth's new energies and grid systems, to intimacy and joy, to the exploration, communication with the galactics with regards to the 2025 shift and the disclosure, to love and wisdom, to spiritual alignment and attainment, to radical aliveness and bliss, to new beginnings and massive expansions, to fireworks and surprise. In magic and gratitude, potent co-creation and loving understanding of our soul's journey and purpose, we are now sending this treatment to our future selves with coherent alignment and streamlined focus and attention to bring our perspectives into fruition and actualization with total ease, mental clarity, joy, and glory. Take a deep breath in now. And just really collect that treatment, all that information into your heart space. And then I want you to imagine that you're just floating above your timeline. Just take yourself with body, float above your timeline now. And then just get a sense of where the past is situated. Is it in the back, to the left, to the right, or to the front? And then look for the future. Is it to the front, the back, the left, the right? Just as if it would imply a timeline. And you are floating up above that now with that image in your heart. Now, create out of that image of your future version. See yourself, create a picture now. And take that picture and hold it in your hands. See yourself in that picture. You might want to put a frame around it or not. And then as you are floating above the timeline, above the now, I want you to float out direction of the future to the 21st of December. You're holding your picture and you're floating there and you're seeing yourself in that picture, that future self with all those goodies that we've just put into it. And once you arrived on the 21st of December, you take that picture and you just drop it down onto your future timeline, onto the 21st of December 22. And just watch it, be the observer now. Drop it down until it gets nicely settled onto that timeline on that day. And then basically there's nothing else you need to do. You just turn yourself around, looking back onto the now, and then float back to the now. And as you do that, you may perceive how all and everything that you still have to let go, that you still have to adapt, that you still have to reorient and adjust and heal, sorts itself out in the next couple of days, now 14th, all the way. We keep it linear, knowing that, of course, as we're doing that, this is not just a linear adjustment here. Everything is reorienting itself as you come back into the now. Good, and then just float back down, right into the now, and bring your awareness back to where you're at in your room, into the Zoom.
thank you, Martina.
You're welcome. So we've anchored it in. Should you be doing an additional fire or something, just know it's there already. You can just add some stuff. And, you know, also allow your, I don't want to say unawareness, but your knowingness, your inner knowingness to just choose, pick and choose everything that we've heard from the others, you know, and it will just, you can feel it now. It's just rumbling around at the moment, you know, and just adjusting itself to that new future you on the 21st. Good. And then, of course, on the 21st, don't forget to check in with the new future you and say hello. And see, feel, perceive, taste, whatever. What's different? Cool. Who is doing what? Has anyone planned? Anybody planned a fire? We've got lots of people here who love making fires and stuff.
I think I'm going to go to a comedy show.
Okay. Fantastic.
We have a friend who has a solstice party every
Oh.
year, and she's moved now up to Marin County, and so we are going to drive up this year. And she, you know, she does a toy drive, and she'll make a fire,
Fantastic.
commune around the fire.
Fantastic. For anyone who hasn't got the time to do it on the 21st, we all know it's not really, doesn't have to be on that day. I think, you know, we've done already a lot of prep work. I mean, you guys done amazingly just preparing all this stuff. And what I think what we can do is, if you want to send me your contributions in the messenger, I'll put it on one document, and then we'll, if you want to, we'll put it into the hub, unless you want to keep it just the way it is and just let it go, let it float. It's entirely up to you. Let me know.
Martina,
Yeah.
I decided I needed a week social media break. So I have no clue what you're talking about. So what everyone says, putting a piece together? Is that what's happening? Or we're going to put something into a file or something?
Oh no, it was just a choice. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, I did send out the invitation for today. I sent it out, I think, on Sunday when I had the idea with the introduction, and everyone just made up some stuff. But it was totally you know, choice. So
Gotcha.
no worries at all. And you actually added out of the blue quite good stuff as well. So yeah. But we can just leave it at that. Let's just not, we don't have to really do anything with it. We've done it for us anyway. And whoever wants to, you know, tap into it, into that energy, they can do it by just watching the replay.
How about if we just post it in the file in Art Nouveau?
Yeah, or you just post it in the hub, you know, post your contribution in the hubs if you want to. Absolutely.
Probably easier to do. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And for some, it's probably more, you know, a personal thing anyway. I don't want to have it plastered all over the place. So it's entirely up to you guys. Yeah, fantastic.
Amy, I just had a question about the light language, because it looked like you were reading it. So how did that come about when you were writing it?
I just started saying it out loud and typed the letters that I heard. It's almost like phonetically how I did it.
Good job.
So I could read it that way. Yeah. So
you know, because it's so, it flows so easily, but I just never think of, you know, phonetically writing it down. Right.
No, yeah,
so I thought that was really interesting and beautiful, and, you know, a different way to like look at it.
That was the first time I ever wrote it, actually. I just record, but so thank you. Yeah. It actually flowed through my fingers and in the computer.
Cool.
So how did it
flow is so beautiful.
Thank you.
It was quite interesting, wasn't it? How it all came together. It's almost like the soul and personality came together in a way. through the soul language on the one, and then obviously the personality bringing forward the words and everything. So it was a really nice integration.
Oh, and usually I have to say, when I say it out loud, I'm much faster when I'm speaking it. And when I had to slow it down to type it and hear it. So I don't know if that's two different languages now that I can do. This one that sounds different to me when I do it out loud, rather than when I typed it. So I don't know that. Yeah.
Maybe you can be the Hollow Earth, Earth Nouveau hub stenographer.
Yes, because let me tell you guys, I used to take shorthand in high school. Those almost like sigils. I used to do that. So yeah, I was just thinking about that Tanya, the other day. I'm like, I should look back to that Greg shorthand book, Yeah.
I wonder what it would be like to write light language in shorthand.
I know.
My both my mom's dad was a court reporter and also a federal judge, and his dad was a court reporter and a federal judge too. So my mom learned how to do that and in the shorthand, and still writes in shorthand sometimes. Nobody can read it, but sure.
It's actually cool now that I think about it. It's like, wow, I was doing it back then and I didn't even know it.
You're reminding me, Amy, of I took shorthand class too. I did Pitman shorthand, and
Yeah.
it was kind of difficult too.
It is difficult to read it
remember.
back. Yes, it is.
Sometimes you can't read what you write.
Sometimes you can't read what you write anyway. Like, what is that?
I know. Wow.
But I can't remember anything about it anymore.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
fade it
if I
out.
looked in a book, maybe
I won't be able to read anything.
it'll come back.
Well, I learned it was kind of difficult to learn and to begin with. So I just got up to the elementary stage of it, first stage. And after that, I'm like, I'm going to drop this. I can't, I can't get past this phase.
They used to time you, in
Right.
school,
Yeah. Well, that was
college.
the hard part. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You had to take this whole letter and put it in shorthand. Yeah. Wow, that's coming back. Interesting.
There is that thing, stuff coming back.
Yes, your dream. Yeah. Same thing in my dreams too.
There's something about coming back, remembering. And of course, that will have an impact on remembering our past lives, remembering things from this lifetime or from other lifetimes, and then, integrating them into what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yes, the great remembering.
Yeah.
May we all remember.
Remembering to raise my baseline dopamine level super high in the morning. No, Martina brought it up earlier. What are you doing for the solstice? For every day, I don't know for how damn long, but I'm gonna be doing ice baths every fucking morning, every night. I'm gonna get on that bandwagon, get my dopamine level so high, enjoy the basic human life experience we have here, embracing the cold elements.
Did you say ice baths?
Yes.
You're doing
I bought
ice.
myself a big ass garbage can yesterday from Home Depot. I got an ice machine place that's like right down the street. I can buy like 20 pounds of ice for $1.50. So I'm gonna be ice bathing every damn day. Makes me feel good. My body's not suffering because I've been in pain in my shoulders and neck. So I'm gonna be ice bathing every damn day,
You're gonna go full on Wim Hof.
Yep, I'm going deep. Those damn cold showers are not doing it no more, so I'm stepping it up, So yeah, those are my future goals. So in the future stuff, I'm gonna be the super ice man 21st or even beyond that. That's my damn goals.
Fire and ice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Calm down that fire a little bit. Fantastic.
Oh, to be an Aries.
Oh yeah,
Right
wildfires.
in the fire. Right in the fire.
Exciting. Well, let's see.
Alfredo,
Yeah.
Alfredo, you need to go where they sell farming equipment for farms, and you can get yourself one of those things that look like a big bathtub, but it's more for like feeding or watering cattle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you put your ice in that and your water, and then you'll be like just like being in a bathtub, because they're big enough for
Yeah.
that.
I was thinking about this because I was like, I could look on Craigslist and find someone that's selling like this tub or something, but that could work perfect too. I need
Yeah.
something bigger so I can like fully submerge myself, because I'm like squeezing myself into this trash can. Get most of my body in there, but I want to get my entire body in there, you know?
Just
I
drive
love that.
around, just drive around Austin at the end of the month, or, near where people are renovating things, where there's a big skip, because renovation, people throw stuff like that out all the time. They're taking out the bathtubs and flipping the houses, and you can pick one up for free, I'm sure.
Or if you know somebody who does construction work, you can ask them to keep an eye out for a bathtub. But like I said, if you go to one of those hardware stores that sell farming equipment and things like that, you can find one of those watering tubs for cattle.
And then
Tractor
we
Supply.
do want to see a picture, okay? You and your ice box.
Yeah.
Mhm, uh-huh.
Easy.
icicles in your hair.
And your beard, all
Oh.
icy.
Oh, that's my partner. She'll probably talk shit while she's doing it, but yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. You won't hear anything. You won't feel anything anyway.
I got my anti-projection aura bubble up, so I'm not taking this shit no more.
Fantastic. Has anyone done the Wim Hof method? Has anyone done the I think I've done 2 or 3 times. I went into the cold water. And it was actually okay. I did it down the coast. It was okay being inside. It was actually worse when you come out and you really start getting cold, But I think it could be a really good idea to do those ice baths. I'm just too lazy, but we'll follow Alfredo and see what it does to him.
Andrew Huberman was saying it raises your baseline dopamine to just like cocaine would boost your dopamine to like 2.5 levels. The ice baths do that, but instead of getting the crash like you would with cocaine, he says like the baseline levels, they stay the same once it's raised with the ice baths. So after hearing all this evidence over and over, I'm just like, all right, fuck, I'm gonna do it, and I'll be the guinea pig for the group to see what I have to say about the results I get from it,
Absolutely.
So Alfredo, how long do you sit in the ice bath for?
As long as I can. At first I did, just like a few seconds. I was like, oh my gosh, whoa. And I was like, all right, keep going back in. So I just I'll go in for a little bit, like a few seconds, and then pop back out, dip back in, go back out, just as much as I can withstand. So I'm sick of it. And then like earlier I did this morning, I was able to stay in there for a few minutes and deep breathing in there, but it depends how cold the water is too. But I'm just gonna keep pushing my body beyond its comfort level. So I'm already seeing the difference the more I'm doing it. Like my body's getting more adjusted to it. So it's definitely doing something to my head. Oh, what's up?
Can I give a Chinese medicine explanation?
Oh yeah.
So
give your wisdom, Sean.
When you submerge yourself in cold, you encourage your body to have a yang response. So basically you're triggering your alchemical fires. So your body's creating heat from inside to bring to your exterior. Because when you're submerged in cold, you're getting cold from the exterior interior, from the outsides in. So your body responds to that by generating its own heat from the interior exterior. So engaging those alchemical fires to bring it out to the exterior. So you're basically doing it from the inside out as a response to cool off all that cold shit.
Yeah, it definitely activates the body for sure. I guess it's running dormant in us all the time because we're not putting ourselves through this cold exposure. But when it's activated, it's boom, it's in super drive,
activates your whole immune system. You're bringing, if you have pathogens on the inside, it's going to bring all the pathogens to the outside. It does a lot. Like, but if you don't have those pathogens, you're just bringing, if you don't have the pathogens to break down, then you're just bringing what your good stuff from the inside to the outside.
And doesn't it just push all of the blood also into your internal organs? That's my understanding. Like when you do cryo or ice baths, the blood that's, here just retreats to the internal organs to keep the organs moving. So you get like better healing with and better circulation within the organ systems themselves.
I believe the reaction would start once you get out of the water. Because like, yeah, everything when cold from the outside, everything closes off and constricts, like you say, and it'll move interior. So then you're generating really, since all that heat from the exterior is now moving to the interior in your internal organs, you're generating more and more heat from the inside. And then as soon as you get out, now everything has to equilibrize again. And so it starts spreading back out to the exterior. So you kind of have that popcorn effect. There's now bringing all that stuff, all that heat you generated inside back outside.
John, I have a question. So what about when it gets, I live in the north, so what about when it gets cold outside? Same thing as ice bath, like if it snows, going out in the snow and laying in it, same kind of thing? Or even just walking without a coat, like just feeling the 30-degree weather?
I guess so, as long as you just have enough yang energy inside yourself to recover and not just get sick and get a cold. Like if you have that spirit within you to transform it. Because jumping in the cold, it's going to cause all your pores in your skin to constrict. I guess it'd be the exact same philosophy. Just jump in the
snow. Yeah.
Amy,
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. The same question you just asked Sean. Thinking I could go outside and walk without a coat. It'd probably be, doing almost the same thing.
Right, but you got it unless you have that spirit intention behind it to like really generate those fires. Or you just be like losing energy and get sick. Because if you get sick, it's counterproductive. And sometimes you just don't want to wear a coat because we're lazy or like, yeah. And then
see, I just do it as a challenge.
you could if you're walking around the whole time like, I'm not wearing a coat, I'm not wearing a coat.
Yes.
Cold, but
I mean, that comes back to intention, doesn't it?
So you run outside bare feet and you run around your yard a couple of times and then you come back into the house.
I do. That's what I do.
Make some snow angels. Make some snow angels in your chonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd keep it down to a couple of minutes, maybe barefoot in the snow or something, or, roll yourself. Sometimes, what they do is you have a sauna or something, and then after that, they jump into the cold water. It's just to oxygenate, all the organs and get the blood going and all of that. But I wouldn't necessarily, do a 2-hour walk and freeze your ass off just because you think you're doing the Wim Hof. I don't think that is the right. But I think,
build up to it.
Yeah. Mailbox. It's to the mailbox and back.
But we know kids build up to it not wearing their coat. They never wear their coat.
But like I said, you just run outside, you run around the house a couple of times, or the yard, whatever, and you keep moving fast. So you're not, just letting the coldness hit you so hard, but you're keeping in the heat is building up inside you at the same time, as you keep running or whatever.
I'm sure there's a lot of information on out there if you Google it, or Wim Hof, I'm sure got it on his website, so that you can actually, just form your own little opinion and ask your body what he wants to do.
Yeah.
All right, peeps. Okay. Any last words? Other than enjoy.
It's been a good life, and I'll pass over to the other side with no regrets.
Good. That's right into the future. We just passed the 21st of December. Well, absolutely.
Yeah, where did Sean go? I don't know. Now he's in 2038.
There he goes.
Rocket Man.
Fantastic.
Well,
Let's
it's
go
great to see.
Let's
great
go
to see
straight to
all y'all. Thank you.
2053 and bypass all of this.
Let us know how it is,
Start
Sean.
mingling with the aliens.
Well, I think we can probably do that a bit earlier already, to be honest, the way it's going at the moment. When you listen to certain people talk, it's really around the corner. So, you know, I think, and this is the energy I'm getting here. It's like, okay, just calm down. Calm down. It's almost like the more you understand your multidimensionality, the more you say, okay, it's okay. I'm just going to enjoy my little schnitzel now, or my little beer, you know, that kind of thing. And this is what I love about, you know, that understanding of the soul journey, because it just puts you back right into the now. There's nowhere to go, no time to lose, because there is none of it. So just enjoy yourself where you're at, you know. So yes.
Aho.
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 Along those lines, what is today? The 14th. So, oh, it is the 21st next Wednesday.
Mhm.
Do you want to do a show? Okay, let's get a topic going.
Good for me.
Let's think of something. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do that. That will be our last show then before Christmas. And then we'll take it from there. So have a really, really good couple of days on the run up. And then we may be, you know, already able to share a few things on the 21st when we meet. And enjoy the ice bath, Alfredo. And we want to see the fruit, all right? We want to see
Oh,
fruit.
yeah. Oh, yeah, Brad, you're mad, yo. I already feel the fire raging.
And
Cool.
you can just bring it to the hotels with your family and you just raid the ice bin.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
kids.
Oh,
Kids,
anytime
see how
I
much
get.
ice you can get.
I want to see you cutting steaks whilst you're in the ice bath. Let's add a bit of a thing here.
That'd be the funniest video ever.
Just remember, Alfredo, when you get in the ice bath, don't chop anything off.
No.
No, I'm safe, Lana.
All right.
I know
But
better.
it will be nice. That's not a bad thing to have it connected again, isn't it? It has to go into the ice. It's all good. We're all good. So
It's all
safe.
good.
Safe. Just keep hacking.
And
All
go,
right,
go
guys.
enjoy that beach,
week.
Jen.
Yeah.
Cheers, hey. Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Love
you.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.